Legends, how are we? Welcome to the Culture Standard. I hope you're having a great day. Culture Standard. I'm Bo Vernon. I'm here with my co-host, Chris Andres, where we're breaking down the best ideas from the best podcasts, books, and people. And speaking of people, Chris, the last one's blown up the internet. Lucy Vernon, my wife. We've only released it a day ago, but going really well, having a lot of great feedback from it.
Yeah, we are. Welcome, everyone. And Lucy's episode's flying along at the moment, and it was awesome that she came on. I think it's just very relatable and very raw and honest. I think people can relate to it. So there was some good stories in there, and it's been good so far, good feedback.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that's connected so much with everyone is the, understanding everyone has struggles and just relating to everyday life, that not everyone's always up and about, and it just seemed raw and honest, and it's been the feedback. So if you did like that, I hate asking these things, but if you did like that episode and you watched it, make sure you jump on to whatever you listen to the podcast on, you like, subscribe, and if you can leave a review, just helps us grow the show. So and have more of an influence on more people. So we really appreciate the people that have done that so far, and hope that more can jump on board. Yeah. Also want to give a shout out. I've had a few messages about our first sponsor, Robe Society, just saying that they've purchased the robes, they've already got them, and they're loving them. So really great feedback there from the Robe Society. You said you're going to come in my mate. Come on, get to it.
I'll borrow one of yours and put it on now if you want. I did forget to bring one, but hold me to it. Remind me next week. Couple of weeks.
I would say that's okay, but they're not really my robes. Lucy and Layla probably worn them and need a wash, so they might not be all for it, mate. And I haven't told you this news. This morning, I've made phone calls and inroads on skydiving. I've looked up the best time to do it is, winter to spring months, so, your June, July, August. Looking to skydive, and I've rang up the Sunshine Coast Skydiving Company, and they reckon it is very doubtful they'll let me do it if I can't lift my legs. So I'm breaking this news to you for the first time. I'm legit flat.
I'm shattered.
I'm going to make it happen though, mate. I'm going to make it happen somehow. Surely.
There'll be someone that would do it, I reckon. Surely.
Yeah. It's not giving me much confidence that...
I'm a little bit excited, if I'm going to be honest. It's chirped me up a little bit because I've been shitting myself thinking about this.
Oh, you're excited that you don't have to do it? No, you committed to it, mate. You're going to have to do it either way.
No, we'll figure it out. Surely there's someone that will do it.
Yeah, I know. It's generally flat here and that. And
he kept that quiet.
But I reckon we'll do it. They said come in anyway, they'll assess me. But they said it's very doubtful if I can't lift my legs. But I'm sure people in wheelchairs have done it before, so I'm going to push through and get this done somehow.
Do they explain to you why? Is it because when you're landing, or?
Yeah, it's just probably like when I'm landing, just coming in and hitting the legs and hitting the knees and stuff like that, breaking my legs probably. I do have osteoporosis, brittle bones. I won't tell them that, but due to not weight bearing for so many years. So yeah, that's been a bit flat. But this week being at, we are recording this on Friday. This week been at training camp in Brisbane, which was nice. Not having to travel for training camp this time. I was up here in Brizzy. We had to go for a drive, but not on a plane. And mate, we're big on culture. Obviously, we're called the Culture Standard. We're big on culture. We are moving in the right direction. I just love the program at the moment. People feeling comfortable, enjoying what we do. Everyone's feeling connected, supported. And I really feel that with cultures of teams, of organisations, of sporting teams or the like, I think that is what you need to get right first before the wins. And now that I feel like we're getting that right, the next bit is we need to start winning some stuff. And I feel like getting that base layer of enjoyment, connections, supportedness, everyone being on the same page and united, I feel like that's so important. I feel like that then builds the wins rather than the other way around.
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome that it's going so well. But yeah, what you said is pretty much spot on with culture, teams and that sort of thing. So yeah, and you would know obviously pretty well, coaching throughout a lot of years. So yeah, that's awesome.
I think that's the question that comes, like, what comes first? People say teams that are winning then build a good culture. But I think sometimes when you're winning, you can actually miss some of the little things that make teams great. And yeah, you might win for a while, but I don't think it builds sustained success.
The culture
That's
needs to
two
be
words that are hard to bloody say together. Sustained success. I got
to sustain success. I believe same thing. It needs to be culture needs to be built from the bottom up, and everyone needs to be on the same page, enjoying being where they are, and holding each other accountable for the values of wherever you are, what organisation, team, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to do that, and if you can get on that page, I think that's where you sustain the success
probably,
from. It stays for a long period of time rather than just 1 or 2 years.
Definitely agree, and I think that builds into our book that we're doing this week, Atomic Habits, by James Clear. It's around getting our day-to-day life in order to maximise the growth in our life and live our best life. So that I feel like is the foundation, the systems you get into place that then build the wins. And I think it's so relatable to the book. How did you find Atomic Habits? How did you find the book, mate? And what are your thoughts?
Firstly, episode 8, they're going quick, aren't they? They're flying along.
It's
8
flying,
episodes, yeah. It's flying along.
Yeah. Before you know it, what are we going to be at? 52 year?
Yeah, 52 through the year, yeah.
Yep, so
but anyway, episode 8, Atomic Habits. I'll be honest, it was a shit listen. I just spoke in the same tone the whole book, but very beneficial and very relatable, and I think you can get so much out of it. If you don't like listening to it, just read it. But yeah, definitely, it was a boring listen, but I definitely got a lot out of it and related a lot to my life, and I realised there's a lot in my life I can keep working on and that I can still improve on, which was good. It's sort of given me a little bit of a wake-up call too with a few things. So
yeah, I agree. It's so good. I think the book and the principles behind it are so good. It was a bit of a boring read, but coming away from that and talking with you around what we're going to talk about, there's so many different things we could incorporate in this book because, there's this message, and there's so many good and powerful messages out of it. So that's a really good one for Atomic Habits. But something we did do differently, I read the book where you listened to it. I found reading it was a lot better. But the second half of it, I chucked it on 2.0 speed on Spotify and then was reading it at the same time. So, because I can't read that fast, I'm like listening to it, reading really fast, got bang, 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 and my eyes are following. Geez, I found listening and looking at the same time, I've been able to retain so much more information than listening to it in the car or
amazing.
Whatnot.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You said you actually enjoyed it a lot more when you sped it up to 2.0 because that was
I had to concentrate hard. I had to actually listen to what was going on and take it in because he's very slow and monotone when he speaks on normal.
The excitement of trying to retain
the information. Hurry up, get it out, keep talking. You speed it up to 2 and it's like, then you really switched on there trying to listen to hear what's going on. But yeah, boring to listen to, but definitely beneficial. So I recommend sitting through the 5 hours or whatever it is of listening.
Yeah. As atoms are the building blocks of molecules, atomic habits are the building blocks of markable results. So atomic habits, small little changes in our life add up to big results, and that's what James Clear says in the book. Before we jump into our key messages, mate, I just want to, what are some bad habits in society this day and age that you're seeing a lot of that maybe someone can listen and go, I'll probably do that a bit too much and maybe need to look at ways that I can minimise those bad habits?
The obvious one is, and everyone's probably thinking about it now, is the phone use. And it's just when you're out and about, because I'm trying to be very conscious of it now, I'll leave it in my pocket and I'll just go, I'll look at the water or just look around and try and just enjoy what I'm looking at. And you just see 80-90% of people head down in their phone, not knowing what's going on around them. So I think that's a big one. That's just a habit now because I go to my pocket all the time when I feel I can't sit in boredom. I'm just like, I'm bored and where's my phone?
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to break that at the moment. There's obviously food, another one. I think the habit is when we're bored, once again, a lot of it comes to boredom, is to eat for no reason when you're not even hungry or just eating shit foods.
Or if you're not feeling well, you had a hard day.
You go to the shitty foods.
Yeah.
They're just bad habits once again. That because long term they're not going to be good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple. What do you got? You got a couple others?
Yeah, a couple of others is alcohol. Just go home after a day at work or whatnot and having a beer during the week. I've sort of had a good habit most of my life, pretty much. Outside of maybe some of uni days, not drinking during the week. So I think a lot of people, a hard day at work, go home, tendencies maybe to have a beer or whatnot is one. Frustration in traffic. You see all the time, people getting worked up about little things there, and then also. Thinking internally rather than externally. Had a story the other day. I was at went to a cafe to grab a coffee and it was shut. And it said shut because of a family bereavement. And I went there at the same time as someone else did. As they read the sign, they were saying how bloody hell, that's unfair to the person that they were with. I'm like, unfair. These people have had someone in their family die. And this person is saying it's unfair because they missed out on their coffee. And I'm just like,
it's insane, isn't it?
It's like, it actually gets me excited hearing that stuff because the reason why we're doing the podcast is just making people more aware of these little things that are happening, not living for the weekend and enjoying the now. And that is just someone that's just purely thinking internally and not thinking about others, which is a habit that a lot of people can fall into.
I think complaining is a habit.
Yeah.
That and negative thinking. We spoke about negative thinking and your thought process in the past, but that's a habit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think complaining is a habit because a lot of people I've known in the past, they're always find the negative in things and complain about things all the time.
Yeah.
So I think that can be it's a habit.
Definitely. But a lot of there are some of the bad habits that we're just bringing up. A lot of people are doing great things and are in good habits and doing wonderful things. But they're just some things that we just want to bring to people's attention and be aware of. Another one around the habits. Last one is just as a parent, I find it quite hard that you want to do this and you want to do that and you're on kid time a little bit. A kid might wake up at 4:30 in the morning, and that changes what you want to do in the morning, or you might be a young mother or father and you might not have got much sleep that night and it changes it a bit. And it is sometimes hard to build those habits. You have this mindset of I want to do this, I'm going to do that, and then it's all thrown out the door.
Yeah. I can definitely relate. I had my two boys who would wake up anywhere from 4:30 to 5:30 every morning for years. They're getting a little bit better now, but it definitely throws your morning out. I used to be someone that wanted to have a good morning, spend a bit of time before the kids woke up so I could spend time with myself and then be ready for the day.
Yeah.
And they just went out the window. So I did find it hard to deal with that for a fair while because I didn't have that time anymore. It was just pretty much up and it was 100 mile an hour.
Yeah.
So I definitely relate to that for sure. It's,
and I think when we're talking about these things throughout the episode, connect back to Lucy's episode and just one of her messages is be kind to yourself. Be compassionate to yourself. She talked about parent guilt and different things there. And there's also, a level of thing that you feel like you need to do this and this and this, and sometimes it's not possible. Just being kind to yourself that all right, that's all right. It's not going to matter if I miss today or whatnot.
Yeah, you just have to be more accepting, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
You can't control every outcome.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on. Our first point around the book is around 1% better every day. Now we're not saying be striving to get 1% better every single day. It's just more of an analogy of trying to get a little bit better over time. And then it adds up, it compounds. He actually says in 1 year you get 37% better.
37 times. So 37 times, but that's massive.
37 times better in 1 year if you get 1% better every single day, which is huge.
But when you look at 1%, I can see why people just start trying something. Oh, I'm not seeing results. Stuff it. I'm not doing it anymore. There's 1% and it takes time before it starts compounding. So I can understand why you'd pull the pin on starting things and trying to build habits, but when you can see the result there, how it works on paper, it's like just stick at it. Like
there's that golf analogy you got. You've told me that a couple months ago.
Yeah, but you won't play me.
So
I offered him to play golf. We'll pay for 50 cents for the first hole, and every hole after that we double it. And I asked him what do you think he would owe me if I won every hole. And I don't know what he answered. I think he might have said like 30,000 or 20,000. Or might have been way less.
I think it would have been way less than that.
Yeah, it was something tiny. but it ends up being like $130,000
That's amazing.
or something like that from the
50
50 cent.
50-cent bet, and you double it each hole, and it just shows the effect of compounding growth. And it's the same with our habits. It's just you might not see the results like after one hole. What you got? 50 cents, 2 holes, $1, then $2, $4, $8, $16, $32. After 5-6 holes, and like that's not very much. But then it just grows and grows exponentially.
It's massive.
And it's the same with our habits. And one of the stories in the book is a British cycling team. So in 2003, I can't remember the blokes, Dave Brailsford took over the English cycling team.
Yeah, it was Brailsford.
And in 100 years, roughly, give or take, they'd won one Olympic gold medal in 100 years, the cycling team. And they had never won the Tour de France in 110 years. And within 4 or 5 years, they started to see the wheels turn. And from 2007 to 2017, the results of the English cycling team was amazing. And before I ask you for the stats on that, what was some of the things were like? What just the pillow was a bit comfier, so they slept a bit better. They tidy up their truck, so the bikes got less dirt on them. They got a comfier seat.
Just different clothing they were wearing while they were riding. Just a lot of little tiny things, as we spoke about the 1%.
They looked at absolutely everything that they did and tried to make it 1% better, every little thing, and that just
Nutrition, recovery, all of it.
didn't see the results straight away. Hey, so 2003, it wasn't until 2007 they started seeing great results. And do you have those numbers?
Yeah, so over that 10-year span,
From 2007 to 2017, was it?
I think that was a span.
Yeah.
I haven't got that written down, but they won.
No, it was. Oh no, I was just pretending I didn't know that was it.
Won 66 Olympic or Paralympic gold medals and 5 Tour de France victories after never winning a Tour de France for 110 years, and winning how many gold medals in the 100-year span? I don't know if they won any.
One goal.
So they won 66 Olympic gold medals and 5 Tour de France's in that 10-year span.
That's unbelievable.
And they won 60% of all possible gold medals in cycling in one of the Olympics, which I find
2008.
That's crazy.
I think they upped it in the London Games. I don't know what the percentage was, but they had something like 10 Olympic records and 7 world records that they beat in the London Games as well. So you just see that marginal gains in little things you do are massive, and the British cycling team, as much as it hurts me to say it, not that I'm a big cycling fan, but the Brits going so well. You never love that, do you? Especially if after coming off a loss to them in Adelaide. Jeez, it flattens me, actually.
Should have changed. We should have made up a different country name.
Yeah. So anyway, that's a great story, and it's just an analogy of our life as well. And I think one of the things that we'll get up on the screen right now is the plateau of latent potential, which I think is a great graph. For those that aren't actually privy to being able to see the graph, jump on and check it out. The plateau of latent potential. It's around result versus time, and we believe once we change a habit, this trajectory is just going to go like a straight line. Let's say it's 45-degree line out towards as time goes on, and the result's going to get better. But in actual fact, it actually is like quite slow to start off with, and then it exponentially gets better and better and better. And around that, it's around we overestimate what we can do in the short term, and we underestimate what we can do in the long term. And these small habits, for the British cycling team, took 4 or 5 years before they start seeing those results, and then exponentially just
took off.
Yeah,
and it's a good point that also, because it does, as you said, that graph shows that it's very slow at the start. It's a bit of a trap for people where they pull the pin on what they're trying to achieve. Yeah. Like, I think it says, I can't remember the percentage-wise, but most people pull the pin on doing something new between 10 and 14 days in that area because they feel like they're going nowhere.
Yeah.
So if you just hang in there.
It's called the Valley of Disappointment. He labels it.
Yeah.
And it's where our expectation to start off with of where we should be and where we're at doesn't marry up. And so then we stop in that Valley of Disappointment. But if you stick at it, it actually ends up achieving more than what you thought you would over time.
Yeah, massively. So yeah,
It actually sort of rang true to me in rehab. Like after I hurt myself, I worked so bloody hard, and I had these goals to go home independently. And I actually even looked around and saw people in like transferring and stuff like that. I couldn't transfer from my bed to my chair or to a car, and it was hard to sort of keep going and getting dressed for the first time 4 hours. It took me, and it could have been so easy in that valley of disappointment to stop right then and there and said, stuff this is too hard. I'm not actually improving. I'm just going to get people to do stuff for me. It could have been so easy to do that. But over time, within a year, I'm getting changed within 30 minutes. And then now it's, 5 minutes in the morning, especially out Queensland, a bit easier with shorts and t-shirt rather than the pants and hoodies and stuff like that. Oh, mate, getting a bit cold up here, turning right real Queenslander with a jumper on today. It's 25 degrees and he's in a jumper. But that time was a valley of disappointment at different stages going, I'm not proving as much as I should, and I could have quite easily quit. Wouldn't be able to drive today, I don't think. Wouldn't be independent in my day-to-day living. Wouldn't be able to fly to interstate or on a plane by myself. I wouldn't be able to bloody do anything, I don't reckon. And I feel like it's a good analogy.
Great analogy, and obviously, you are where you are today because you kept going. Maybe not because you knew about habits and how long it takes it's just obviously your mindset through that. But I think it's important for people to know that just to keep at it, because I've just spoke to a lot of people in the past when they're trying to get fit or they're trying something and they just pull the pin because, all that stuff takes time. Like running a marathon, for example, you can't just go out and go, I'm going to run 20K today, I'm going to do 25. Like it's small steps. It's like, right, I'm going to do 2Ks and then I'm going to do 4Ks.
Mate, I don't know about the marathon, eh?
Why?
So many people train so long for it that they end up breaking down before the actual marathon starts.
But that's because they're not doing 1%. They're trying to do 50% of the time.
I don't know, buddy.
I've broken down.
Yeah, coach of the Australian team actually is doing a marathon this weekend. He's been training for months, and I just feel like he's got an Achilles injury. He reckons he's going to do it, but hopefully he gets through. But I've seen it so many times, where someone breaks.
There's a certain way to train for it, and I didn't understand when I was doing it a while back. And I broke down because I was running like 100, 150 Ks a week, which is stupid. Whereas you're only meant to do like under 100. You're meant to just cruise and do it a lot of it in slow pace, not hard. And I didn't realise that at that time, and injured myself before it because I just ran too much.
Mate, it happens often. The freak, my mate, the freak, we call him Chris Dunn. He runs ultra marathon backyards, runs like 230 Ks. Like you have to run 6.7K in an hour, and then you get whatever rest you get, and you do it on the hour, every hour.
Yep.
And he ended up, 40 hours or 2 days or something like that straight doing it or whatever.
Lasted that long?
Yeah. Anyway, but we call him the freak. We got back from footy trip once. He goes, I'm going to go run a marathon this weekend. So he's not really a good example of it, but he just, that was the first time he ever did it as well. But anyway, it's pretty cool. But I, in terms of the 1% better every day, there's an analogy, I think. I don't know if it's where it come from, but I heard it at San Antonio Spurs, and maybe an AFL team did have the analogy for a year as well. But it was just about pounding the rock. So it's about whack. I can't remember what the job of it is, but they talk about hitting this rock, and you hit it 100 times, and there might not be as much of a crack. And then on the 101st one, it breaks open and it smashes everywhere. And it wasn't that last hit that did the damage, it was 100 before. And I just think that's a good way of looking at things, that you put in the time. You might not see the results, you don't see the cracks in the rock, but one time you break through. And I think quite often people say, oh, that's just the way they are. They're very good at that because that's their identity and that's just who they are, or their overnight success or something like that. But quite often it's the 100 hits that they've done beforehand that have led to that. So
it's a great analogy because it's an easy thing to sit back and see people that look successful, whether they're good at sport or they're good at whatever they're good at, and think, oh, they just got it naturally. But you don't see the work that goes on behind closed doors. And generally those people that are like that, they're just putting in the hard yards behind closed doors where no one's watching. Yeah. And that's where the winning shows later on, And so I love that analogy. It's awesome.
Yeah, cool, man. One other one, Bill Walsh, NFL coach, 3-time Super Bowl coach, says the score takes care of itself. You put in the work, the rest takes care of itself. So look after yourself, build good habits. We're going to build into how we can build good habits as we go on in this episode. But the first main point is 1% every day. Now, I don't think that's sort of something you should be going after, but just getting a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better, and exponentially that will grow. When you start to form habits, you might not see the results straight away, but over time, if you stick at it, stick true, you'll exponentially get better at it. And we're all chasing that hero in 10 years' time from now.
You're chasing me, aren't you?
Nah. Yeah, far out, don't run. Hope you're walking or it's downhill, mate. So, yeah, anyway, that's 1% better every day, mate. Good?
Yep, happy days. Next one.
All right, second main point that we took out of the book that we want to pass on to our audience. We're not the experts, as we've mentioned a number of times before. We're just learning ourselves. And this has been a great experiment for us, actually, the habits one, around being that best version of ourselves and understanding what we're doing well and what we can do better. But the second one is build systems, not goals. Do you want to talk that, mate, or you want me to?
Can I give you the little quote that I like?
Oh, hit me up, mate.
I just love this one.
He's the quote man.
You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems.
Yes, mate.
Love it.
All right, say it again. Don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to your level of your systems. Yeah. And we're not saying not set goals here. No way.
No, for sure. You have to have goals.
Yeah, goals are good. But systems we feel are more important, and problems with goals and not systems, all right? So I'm going to give you a couple of problems with goals and not systems, which I'm going to read just now. Winners and losers have the same goals. Quite often people want to win something, but they have the same goals. This one is my favourite. Achieving a goal is only a momentary change. So, if you're going after something, it's only, what's the quote around winning? If you want to win once, set goals. If you want to win repeatedly, build your system.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's that one. Goals restrict your happiness. Quite often people set a goal, and when they achieve that, they'll be happy. When I get that promotion, when I get that house, when we win that grand final, when I do this, then I'll be happy. And then that feeling only lasts for a little bit of time. So you might achieve it and that feels really good, but then you're like, what next? And it doesn't actually fulfill you and bring you joy for too long. And lastly, goals are at odds with long-term progress. You stop when you achieve your goal. So, this is my goal, and then you sort of get there and then might stop. So building the systems around it are big, and I think a large part, before you jump in here, Chris, is around enjoying the process. All right, so quite often people are wishing their days away or living for the weekend because they're goal-orientated or they're not enjoying the process. If you can build your systems to enjoy the daily habits, the daily things you do, the daily grind at times, then you're going to be a lot more fulfilled. Your mental health is going to be a lot better.
Yeah, for sure. So I like to frame it as in goals are the direction you go in, and systems decide whether you get there or not.
Yep.
And you talk about systems and what is the word you use? The journey or the
process.
Process. Sorry, I think that's one thing for me. System and process. I think it's the one thing. So,
yeah, for sure.
If you can't, I feel like there's too many things that can get in the way of you achieving a goal that you're not in control of.
Yep.
But I feel like you can be completely in control of your process or your systems.
Yep.
So therefore, if you get that right and you're enjoying that, the goals either take care of themselves or you might get thrown off track, but your systems will take care of that.
Yep.
Whereas if you're just focusing on the goal, like let's say you got a goal, for example, say you're investing in the stock market and your goal is to get to this, you want to get to this much money. But then there's a stock market crash. You can't control any of that sort of stuff.
Yep.
But if you have the right systems in place,
yep,
then you're going to still go well through the process. Whether the system or the process is, buy the dip or whatever,
yep,
you're going to get to wherever you want to get to quicker, or you're going to feel better about it.
Yep.
I don't know. That was just a quick one I thought off the top of my head. Then.
No, it's the same as like anything, like a promotion maybe.
Yeah.
You might miss out on a promotion. That might be your goal. And then that might flatten you. But if you've got the systems in place that I need to do this, and this to build my profile, to build my brand, to build how good I am at managing people or whatever it is, your skills set. If you have those systems in place, then eventually the results take care of themselves.
Yeah, definitely. Because goals are just, you're not in control of them most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the way I sort of look at it.
Yeah, cool, man. I love it. So got here around identity over results. So he gives an analogy of these three circles that, and I can relate to the goal one as well in life, that sort of like probably have set goals for myself. And Lucy actually alluded to this in the last podcast around, we had these 5-year plans and something would always pop up and stuff something up. Like I had this plan to do this or that, and then something would come in and stuff it up, where sort of if you just have those systems, it's a lot easier. But so in terms of the identity over results, he talks about changing your identity rather than being outcome focused. So, like a lot of people will go, I want this in my life. So then that's my action. They start there and then they go to process, and then they believe that will change their identity. Where he feels what we need to do is go, this is who I want to be, then get the process right, and then the outcomes take care of themselves, which I think was a great analogy for it.
So I'll give you an example, and you can hit me. So let's say one of them is, I want to lose 10 kilograms.
Yep.
So what can you put to that?
So instead of I want to lose 10 kilos,
because that's the goal.
That's the outcome.
Yep.
Yep. So instead of starting there, it's I want to be a fit and healthy person.
I'm somebody that exercises.
Yeah, I am. Yep. Yeah, that's right. I am someone that exercises and is fit and healthy.
Yep.
And then the process is, you're going for your runs, you're eating healthier, you're getting good habits in place there. You're taking the beers out of the fridge, you're not buying as much junk food, or you're putting it to the back of the cupboard.
Yeah.
And then the outcome.
It's just the process.
Takes care of
so
itself.
So another one is like, I want to write a book, and instead of just sitting it there, it's like, I'm going to write 300 words every morning.
I'm going to be a writer.
Yeah.
Yep.
So then the process
I'm
is
a writer.
there, and I think I was reading earlier about processes and some people who are really good at it, and I think Nick Saban is the most winning coach, I think, in college history.
Okay.
But he was all
in
about
basketball or what?
NFL.
NFL, yeah.
He was so big on never worry about the scoreboard, don't even look at it.
Yep.
It's all about process. It's what you can do right now. So the next contest, the next rep, the next whatever you're doing, it's right now. And he was so big on that. The rest would take care of itself. And he's the most winning. That's what his whole aspect of coaching was about.
Yeah.
And he was the most winning coach. So
So I think it's all right to have those goals. I want to lose 10 kilos. I want to put on 10 kilos, or I want to be this. But we need to start with who you want to be as a person. And the analogy he sort of gave was around the smoker. So two people got offered a smoke. One person goes, nah, I'm trying to quit. And the other person goes, nah, I'm not a smoker. And it's such a subtle difference, but it feels to me, just by saying it, that person that says that they're trying to quit, and
they already know they're going to fail.
It feels like they're going to fail, or they know that. And the other person has changed their identity to, I'm not a smoker.
Yeah. And
that it feels like that is more. So it's around changing our identity, and habits shape your identity, and vice versa. It builds a loop.
It's a habit loop or a cue loop, or it's habit loop.
Habit loop. That we build. So in that, I'm big on the action over motion. So habits, you can have these goals and you probably look at the outcomes, but if you look at the process and you get actionable items on those processes, then you start to build it yourself and believe in it yourself. You start changing your identity into that's what I am, and you sell those messages yourself.
Yep. Yeah, cool. I think I read in there as well, which is a tricky one for me to, I guess once you start reading, understanding this stuff, you can probably change it, but you can't actually change a habit, is what he says in there. Once you've got a habit, the loop's always there, but you can change the cues and then how you respond to it.
Yep.
So it's because I was sitting back trying to think of habits that I've got, and I'm like, geez, how am I going to change that? After reading that part, I was like, geez, you can't get rid of habits once you got them. How am I going to fix this?
Yeah.
But I think once you can sort of go through this stuff and change your process and all that, you can actually work through it and change it to being positive ones.
Yeah, definitely. I probably don't. I agree with that to some extent.
Well, it worried me when I read it because I was like,
it does make sense to
Yeah.
me, but like, I don't know if I think you can change those habits, but yeah, they're always there, I suppose.
always in there somewhere.
Yeah. So how to change your identity in two-step process is decide the type of person you want to be, and then prove it with small wins. So for us growing up, exercise right now for us is quite easy because we've grown up with the belief that we're fit sort of people, and exercise is a part of us, and we've built those small wins along the journey because we've always exercised, and then you believe that identity yourself. So I'm big on that.
A little trick in there I like as well. You mentioned it earlier, but it's something I've done in the past, is doing something with someone else, or having someone that holds you accountable, because it's so much harder to let someone else down than yourself.
Yeah.
I think you can let yourself down a lot, but if you just start the habit and do it with someone, and then once it gets easier and easier, then you can build that habit on its own from there. But yeah, doing it with someone, you won't let someone down as easy as yourself for some reason.
Yeah. So in terms of building systems over goals, I want to just get in there as well around selling messages to ourselves. That I learned this years ago around the messages we sell to ourselves and others is what we become. So if you tell yourself, I'm late, I'm not a morning person, I'm not this, I'm not that. You build that belief system around yourself, and it's harder to change those habits. So just selling good messages to yourself about yourself, and it really help build those habits. Like, I'll see parents quite often. I'm not judgmental, but I see it. People say, they're just shy about their kids, and then that kid starts believing that they're shy, and I've got no doubt that person will grow up to be more anxious or have more troubles with anxiety than a person that's not told that. Like, they'll be socially more anxious, I would think, than other people, because they're told that they're shy their whole life, or this kid's a naughty kid, and then they start believing they do more stuff or whatnot.
Sure.
So same as ourselves, if we're telling ourselves that I'm not a morning person, or I'm not this, or that starts to, you believe it, and it forms a part of your identity. So just make sure we're selling good messages to ourselves and the people around us.
For sure. One little tip, I'll give a tip here because it's going to help me massively, because I sit down and I go, rightio, I'm going to work on these habits. I've got this one, and I think of like 5 or 6, and then I wake up the next day and go, all right, what were those habits I'm working on again?
Yeah.
So I'm going to get a whiteboard or a sheet at home. I'm going to put it up, my habits, up on the wall or wherever it is, and then I'm even going to let me wife and kids know what I'm working on and get them to hold me accountable as well. I feel like that sort of environment's just going to be like, because I just naturally hate being told I'm not doing good enough, or your laps, and they'll be like, I've got to get better at that. So, and then I can't forget it. Every morning I'll be able to see it and go, oh yeah, that's right, I'm doing that.
Yeah, awesome.
And then hopefully it just slowly comes in, do it for a month and see how I'm going. But
awesome, mate. Awesome. And then awesome, mate. And then just on you take action on that. Most common question James Clear gets asked is around how many days does it take to form a habit? And he says we need to reword that question to go, how many times do I have to do it before it becomes a habit? Because he goes, it's just repetition. It's not time, it's repetition. The more reps you get in on the habit, the more likely it is to form. And the best way to start that is evaluating our habits. We'll go into it in a little bit, but evaluating, far out. We didn't even know a lot of habits we had, or we do, or whatnot before writing down.
It was a little bit confronting when I started going over it. I was like, oh, but then I was also excited because I was like, geez, if I can create all these good habits and not have to think about them anymore, I'm like, all right, days are going to be so much easier.
Yeah,
so it was sort of good both ways.
No, awesome. All right, so systems over goals. Building systems over goals is our second point. We're not saying not to have goals. It's just we're saying that goals, quite often make us go, when we get there, we'll be happy, or we get to that and then we stop. Systems build the outcomes from the inside out.
Goals or the direction, systems are what decides whether you get there or not.
All right, love it. Let's go. All right, and then one of the ones around the systems that we love most is motivation is overrated and environment matters more. It says in the book, and it's with a certain amount of willpower that we have, motivation quite often wears off a lot of the time. You're going to get better results if you're not fighting yourself to be with that willpower all the time, or to be motivated all the time, and you just change your environment to make things easier.
Yeah.
Where gravitate towards what's easier.
Yeah, I'm huge on environment through my journey of trying to be, extremely healthy and all that sort of stuff. So environment was critical for me. Like, it was, let's go for drinking, for example, alcohol.
Yep.
If you're going to got a box of beers in your house every day, and it's going to be a lot harder to say no to having a beer. But if you don't have any there, and when you want to actually have a drink, you decide to go and buy some to have that drink.
Yep.
Like, you're less likely to be drinking because you're not going to want to spend that time going in there, getting the drinks, So that's just a little environment one. Food in the cupboard. Get bad foods up high at the back, or don't have them in the house at all.
Yeah.
Can't eat it now. So it's
environment. I can't have bad stuff in the house. So Lucy's I can't buy it, because as soon as I buy it, Bo just eats it all and then it's gone. But in my head, I'm going, sooner I eat this, sooner it's out.
But I'm the same too.
So I don't buy. I don't buy.
If there's chocolate in the house, I can't help it. So I'm like, so just remove it. Get it out of the way, and then you won't do it.
Yeah, you can have it. Can help it, but it's harder. Definitely harder than not being there and changing your environment. It's a good example of environment over motivation. Another example was around in Vietnam War. There was something like 50% of people were addicted to heroin, and then they came back out of the war, back to home environment. Only 10% stayed addicted because the environment changed. And then people that are actually addicted to heroin in their own environment go to rehab, and when they come back, it's something like 90% of people relapse and become addicted again because the environment is the same. And
that's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just a good analogy to. It's a good. I've been using analogy a lot. But it's just a good.
I think I'll put that in your head. I think
it's just good to think about it and just go, what can I change in my life to make things a lot easier? It's not like, obviously we want to surround ourselves with good people and like-minded people, and people are going to make us better. But sometimes it's difficult to do that on the spot. But there's little things we can do, such as getting our phone out of our room. We mentioned that it's a big one this day and age. It's something that I've written down. I don't want to sleep with my phone in my room. I had a month of not doing it. It was really good. And I've gone back to it. So I'm going to start not sleeping with my phone in my room, and really working with not my phone in my room as well, because especially we're both into the NBA, it's so easy just to quickly check the score. Look at the NBA finals time at the moment. And the next minute you go to something else. The devices are made to be addictive, and it actually cruels your productivity.
Yeah, definitely. There was that other story I liked I listened to it, I didn't read it, about I think it was at a hospital or something like that. It was just...
Before, is it the delayed gratification example?
No.
No.
It's, it's not that one, sorry.
No.
It's regarding the water one, remember?
Okay.
I just think that one's really good too, because sugar is the most addictive thing on the earth, pretty much. And they showed at that hospital in the cafeteria or whatever it was. Might not have the story perfect here, but I was listening to it on 2.0, 2 times speed. So the water sales or whatever was so low. No one was buying water. No one wanted water. Even the taps and that weren't being used for water because it wasn't easily accessible. It wasn't right there in front of them.
Yep.
And everyone just drank Coke and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
And then the lady in the nurse or the lady in the cafeteria, whatever it was, decided to make water right there easy accessible.
And
everyone drank water.
And the Coke and all that was put to a harder spot.
Yeah, and then no one was drinking that anymore. And it was like, sugar's so addictive, you'd think that would still be getting sold, but water went off the charts.
So it happens so often at businesses. You go into and they've got lolly bowls or everywhere in the workplace and stuff like that. And then it's in your face and they think you're doing kind, but sugar's the most addictive drug going around, I reckon.
And it's the biggest cause of disease in the world. Nearly every major disease there is that kills us leads to sugar.
Yeah, and we're not saying don't have any sugar. Obviously, we have it a bit and stuff like that, but just getting it out of your face a bit more, there's no doubt the population is more unhealthy than we've ever been, from a physical point of view and a mental point of view, and sugar definitely doesn't help that at all. And one of the most powerful of all human sensories is vision. So something like human body has about 11 million sensory receptors, 11 million, and 10 million of those are vision. So out of 11 million sensory receptors, 10 million are dedicated to sight. So in terms of that, make our environment, the cues that are around, put good things in front of us and that we can see, and it might be a fruit bowl on the table instead of down in the bottom of the fridge, or it might be, your running shoes out to go for a run. Maybe it's getting the beers out of the fridge and putting them up in the cupboard so they're warm, or whatever that then makes it harder. They're out of sight maybe when you open the fridge. Different things like that, getting rid of your phone and getting rid of those visual cues and creating visual cues for good things as well.
Makes a lot of sense because the eyes are part of the brain. It's the only part of the brain you can see. Did you know that?
Yeah. So what's that? The
eye is actually a part of the brain, so it's connected to the brain by the optic nerve or whatever. So it's actually part of the brain you can see. So it makes sense.
Okay.
Part of the brain, so it's directly to the brain. That's why we spoke about earlier. Yeah, we're trying to show our kids through more visual rather than telling.
Yep.
And that makes sense as well. They see things, they react more.
Yeah.
Or respond more.
Do you want to talk to delayed gratification? So around...
Do you want to tell me the story first?
Around delayed gratification?
Yeah, so there's this story, or it's a study. It was actually
feels
done.
like you're going into a joke here, but
no joke. I've got no jokes today. Actually, you reckon I was crap last week? I thought I was.
You were laughing.
I thought they were good.
You were laughing. That's the main thing.
I was happy.
Sometimes I think that's the best part of a joke.
When you start,
he's just watching that person laugh to himself.
That's good. Anyway, so delayed gratification. There was a study done, and it was followed them for I think like 30 or 40 years. It was a very long study, so it's pretty factual. There was 4-year-old kids that they were. I can't remember what it was. What was put in front of them? A donut or a cookie or something. Yep. Something they wanted to eat anyway. It was put in front of them, and they said to them, "Don't eat that for 15 minutes, and you'll get another one." Yep. And a lot of them grabbed it and just ate it. They couldn't help it, but a lot of them held off and didn't eat it.
Yeah.
And the studies showed. So I'll read them out. This is like 20, 30 years later, whatever it was. So the ones that didn't eat it and waited, which was that delayed gratification. Later on, they all had better life outcomes in almost every measure that they tracked. So they're 210 points higher SAT scores on average. They had lower BMI, lower substance abuses, lower stress levels, higher income, relationship quality, and reported well-being was higher. And they actually tracked that for 40 years.
Yeah.
So that's a massive study. And that was literally just through delayed gratification. And that's so important in our life right now because everything is so instant. As an adult, I feel it. So I think teaching that to our children in some way is going to be super important.
Yeah, and it's a good thing for us as well because not all bad habits, but a lot of bad habits create instant gratification. So you eat that crap food, you're like, how good's that? You have the beer, you're like, relax, pretty happy. You get the dopamine hit from your phone. A lot of bad habits create instant gratification and then over time aren't beneficial for us. Where good habits quite often don't create instant gratification, but then over time, that gratification improves and gets better and is far better than the bad habit itself. So, going for a run, I actually, I would enjoy that if I could. But like a lot of people hate running or whatever, and they don't get that gratification straight away. But after time and you've been doing it for 3-6 months, you're feeling real good within yourself and pretty happy with yourself for doing that sort of stuff. Yeah,
it definitely makes sense. And it's a shame that the instant stuff are the bad habits and it makes you feel good instantly, isn't it? Because it's so easy to go to that. But I've experienced that massively. I I would spend so much time on my health. I probably don't do as much now, but so much time on my health and well-being and that, and even spend a lot of money on it. And people would always think I was doing something silly, but I've always believed in my mind. I'm like, with my health, I feel like if I don't look after it now, then I'm going to pay for it later anyway.
What is something like cancer cells are building for like so long?
They'll give 80% of their life or 90% of their life. They're just sitting there, but then they
dormant. Yeah.
Then they cause issues and they're active for 10% of their life or whatever it is, something like that. Anyway, it's maybe not exact, but yeah, I feel like that's the same. That's a delayed gratification for me. I look after myself now, and I feel pretty good, but I might not see the results now. But when I'm 70 and I'm still mobile, I'm still running and doing things. Yeah, that's my plan. It's like I look that far out now, and I feel like I've just taught myself the delayed gratification in other things. So,
so just to create our environment, so
make it easier too.
Make it easier on ourselves. Our willpower is not, infinite. It is infinite or it's not infinite?
No, it's not. I have terrible willpower.
Yeah,
I have to set my life up in a certain way.
Sorry, I was trying to think of what was the right way to say.
We run out quick.
Yeah, exactly. So
use our vocabulary that we're capable of using.
Yeah, I should do that. So anyway, willpower is not endless, and we need to set up our environment. And I think there's some easy wins we can just get straight away. The other one is just writing down a list of habits you'd like to start, habits that are good that you'd like to start, habits that are bad that you'd like to get rid of, and habits that you're currently doing. Like I was just trying to think, what are some habits I bloody do? What are some? So, and what systems am I getting in place? So just quickly, I finished the book last night, so I've gone off and done a quick list now, but I'll build on this over time. But I'm just going to read some of the things that I want to start. So I want to start journaling more consistently every day. I've been doing it lately. It's been really good. I find it so beneficial of that self-awareness of where I'm at. I want to do that. Reading, I want to read every day, even if it's a page a night. Got the book, which you've got as well, Daily Dad, is it?
The Daily Dad. Awesome book. You only need to read one page a day.
It's one page a day. It's awesome. So easy. So I've actually created my environment where I'm just putting that on my pillow now. So when I go to bed, I'll do it. Two big ones that for me is I'm going to be a clean person and clean up straight after myself. So, like something that I can do is leave my desk a bit dirty. I can throw my clothes off in bed and just throw them into a drawer and then just, on top of the drawer and just leave them there for a bit and different things like that. I want to put my dishes away straight away in the dishwasher and do things like this because I found myself getting a little bit frustrated at the kids lately. Pack this up, pack that. And we all know that the best thing is to it's by action. It's by action, not by what we say. So setting a good example.
So that one's for me is like being more organised because I'm a terribly organised person and I feel like I'm a bit messy too.
Yeah.
Whereas my wife is so organised and everything's just got to be spotless. So it's like the opposites there. I feel like I just got to be more organised and I reckon I'll start being better at being cleaner.
Well, that was my next point is I want to be more organised. So at the moment, Lucy and I are very good at looking at the week. Who's got to do what, where are we fitting this in, what are we doing? But looking further in advance, we're pretty poor. I've got my youngest boy's birthday coming up, haven't planned what we're doing, what we're getting. I've got a mate's 40th as a dress-up party. I always wait to the day of it, never plan. What else? Trips with family, I want to go camping and stuff like that. And these things need to be planned quite often a little bit out in advance. So I want to be more organised with my yearly calendar and also more organised to paying bills, which isn't too bad, but fixing house defects, or I've got an electric chair that's almost so close to being shot. If that breaks, I'll struggle coaching the girls' footy team, I'll struggle getting down the beach and stuff like that. So being proactive with this sort of stuff as well. And one other one, I've got a number of ones here, but I'll just read one more. I want to get the butcher's paper or whiteboard in the lounge room, which I feel you stole from me, but anyway, that's all right. I told you about it. No way.
The quotes.
Quote of the week up. I want to have kids writing acts of kindness that they've done or seen during the week, good behaviours that have happened during the week, and then you told me about the habits. You're going to put your habits up there as well, which I really want to. I think it was a great thing, and it might be just hold you accountable, and maybe get the kids to put one or two things that they want to improve up there, and habits that they want to get better as well, which I think will be a great visual Big whiteboard up there in the thing. So that's another habit I want to start. Stop using my phone to work on at home. I want to get a second screen. Want to stop using my phone or put my phone in another room. Sleep with the phone in another room. Throwing clothes on top of the drawer, which I mentioned. Using the phone when I'm on the phone to someone else. Want to stop that. Feeling I need to fill the place of boredom. So I want to stop. Happy to just to be bored at times. Having so many unread messages on my phone, voicemails, emails. My desktop is filthy, you know, like in terms of so much stuff.
I'm glad that stuff doesn't make me anxious because I think I've got like something like 20,000 unread emails.
well, you can't leave a voicemail on your phone either. It's all blocked up too much. So
yeah, there's a lot there too. I don't listen to them.
Yeah. So anyway, there's some things I want to stop doing and get better at. And
that's awesome.
Just some current habits. I have a cup of water in the morning. Every morning I get up, fill my body with a cup of water, exercise every day, organise a week on a Sunday, give the missus a kiss before bed, eat dinner at the table every night with the kids that were home, give the boys a kiss and cuddle before bed and sing to Layla, cut my nails, which was a bad habit of eating them back in the day, and one coffee a day, which I've been pretty good at. Nearly lapsed today and had two though, but yeah.
I held you accountable.
Yeah, so anyway, they're just some stuff that I've written down. It just made me more aware. And I've had more things I want to start doing as well. But it just made me more aware of where I'm at and what I want to do and stuff like that. Yeah,
I think we need to reflect more because it's hard to pick up on your habits, I think, unless you do sit down and reflect on them and try and figure it out.
Yeah.
Just quickly, when are you going to sing for the Culture Standard audience?
Mate, I haven't even dropped that I was going to do that.
I'm not saying that. You just said you sing to Layla every night. I'm just thinking, are you going to...
I've been getting singing lessons and it's been put on the back burner the last month. I need to get in more of a consistent schedule with it and I will sing a song on the Culture Standard. I'm not sure when.
I'll join in on guitar.
We did some singing warm-up exercises the other week. Hopefully we've still got them on
Was I here?
You're definitely making me feel good about myself. I am the worst singer though, but anyway.
Not done here, hang on. It's funny. You always say that I'm stealing shit off you, and I keep thinking you're doing the same. But the funny thing is, I shit you not, the amount of times I've either called him or he's called me, and I've said, I was just thinking of this, and it's the same thing we're thinking. It's happened that many times, I'm just like, far out, but he keeps claiming I'm stealing stuff, and it's just not true. Anyway, I had a few habits. I've only got a few habits. I feel like I can only focus on a couple at a time.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's good because I am going to prioritise a couple of them, and then I reckon once we get the whiteboard, maybe put a few more in.
So the ones I've got there was more organised. So that's key. So that's whether it's tidy, like I want my car better, I want my house better, my gym, it's just crap everywhere.
Yeah.
I just want to have everything a lot more tidy. Sauna, it's not even my fault, Jess. I want to be more, maybe not all the time, but I want to leave a room. I don't want to leave the room until it's fairly tidy, if you know what I mean. So that's one I'm going to try and incorporate. I think Jess will love that. I want to, when I'm starting to feel overwhelmed or anxious or triggered, for example, I want to just be able to stop, take a deep breath, and then reset, and then go do what I was going to do. So that's one I want to be able to do because usually I don't do that.
Cool.
And flossing, it might sound weird, but flossing. I want to start flossing before I brush my teeth, morning and night.
You've been sold by the dementia.
There's meant to be a lot of good benefits. I'm not going to get into it for flossing. So, and I'm scared of getting dementia, but there's meant to be a good one regarding teeth health and flossing for dementia. So, I'm going to get into flossing morning and night. I'm terrible. Every time I do it, I end up bleeding, make my gums bleed. So, I've got to get better at it, I guess. But flossing's one of them. I want that to be a habit of just, because I forget. I don't not do it now because it's not, I just forget about it.
Yeah.
But if I can start doing it, I'm going to put something up in the bathroom so I know to do it every time, so then it becomes a habit.
My mate gave me this book back in the day, Freakonomics. It was just around how research isn't always, it's not always correct. It's essentially saying, it was like, so an example is that flossing one, that how let's say it was 40% less likely to get dementia, the people that floss.
But for what reasons?
Yeah, but Freakonomics would say, like it would prove different things. But for example, it makes my mind go to, or maybe it's more wealthier to do people that educate themselves more and use their brain for longer.
I've got a really good
like
example on one here.
That floss their teeth, and maybe that's the reason why. The dementia. Just
I've
makes
got a
me
really good
question
example
everything.
here, and people might not like it. If you're vegan, you won't like it. Now, there was these
Get into
vegan
'em.
studies
Get into 'em.
done. No, it just frustrates me when they get all up about it. There's a vegan study done, right? And they took unhealthy people, right? Unhealthy people and put them on a vegan diet. So unhealthy people that may have smoked, drink alcohol, eat crap meat, whatever, and put them on a vegan diet. And initially they get healthier. Yeah. And 100% they're going to get healthy because they're eating veggies and they're eating better foods.
Yeah.
You get a healthy person who eats, say, grass-fed meat, they're eating a good diet, they don't drink alcohol, they don't smoke, and they're fit and healthy. Put them on a vegan diet, they get more unhealthy.
Yeah, okay.
So you can do the same. You can do studies, the same studies, for example.
Who's doing the studies?
And prove different. You can prove different things
The
by
veggie farmers.
depending on how you do it. So it's like you have to be really careful. So many studies can just look totally different, but you think it's the same study. So
definitely.
I definitely don't sit there and look at all studies and go, oh yeah, that's that. I read multiple and then I'm like, try and gather the evidence because I'm not quite smart enough to understand all the terms they use too. But that study there annoys me because I remember it was on Netflix and all the vegans came out and started carrying on. I was just like, this is bull dust. Like,
my mum and dad were vegan there for a bit, and my old man was just like a carnivore. Back in the day, went vegan, and he started like I'd never seen him cry in my life, and he started getting a little bit like more emotional. So we started calling him Soy Boy.
And I want to mention, I'm not against anyone that's a vegan. Vegans can actually be good too, but it's very, very difficult if you don't know what you're doing to get enough protein in. So anyway, I don't want to upset anyone.
Dad's
I don't want to upset Darryl either.
Dad's a legend. I know you'll be listening to this. Just all in good fun, Dad.
Don't cry, Darryl.
All right, we're just going to finish off a little bit here with how you create a good habit and how do you get rid of a bad habit. So the cues for how to create a good habit, make it obvious.
Yep.
So we talked about that a bit, didn't we? Environment.
Yeah, so just setting up your environment well. So easy one to think of, obviously, if you're going to go for a run, you plan to go in the morning, put your shoes and your workout stuff right there when you wake up. So it's right in front of you, it's obvious, you can't miss it.
Yeah. And self-awareness of your habits as well. Like, so just actually writing down. I'm thinking I'm going to, every 3 months, write down what things are going well for me and what things I want to improve, and just being aware of what habits I'm getting into, because when a habit becomes a habit, you're not even aware that you're doing it.
Yeah. So
writing down different things over there as well. Make it attractive. So first one, make it obvious, and then make it attractive. You know, you're more likely to be attracted to the attractive one.
So
for the run example.
Yeah, so they reckon dopamine actually fires in the thought of doing things as well as doing it. So if you can get the thought of doing something or the preparation of doing something, whatever you want to call it, firing dopamine, then your brain's going to push you towards doing things. So little things you can chuck in there was that we mentioned earlier when we were speaking was, you know, if you're someone that always listens to the podcast or whatever it is, then you go, rightio, I'm only going to listen to that podcast when I go for a run. Yep. You know, because now it's become more attractive. I get to listen to that podcast if I go for a run. So
or you have your coffee after you go for a run that you said you used to do a bit, or you know, like different things like that.
So that makes it satisfying, I think.
And making it attractive might be doing it with someone else.
Yeah,
as well,
100%.
You know? Like it's more enjoyable doing things together.
Yeah.
Make it easy. So decrease the friction. You know, set times when you want to do it well. Prime your environment, so getting your shoes out, getting your things out so you can get up and go for a run in the morning, or when you get home from work, it's already out, it's already there, it's in your face.
Do you want to explain the 2-minute rule?
Yeah. All right, the 2-minute rule, and making it easy is 2 minutes. So as we mentioned earlier, it's not about how long it takes to get a habit, it's about how many reps you get in to build the habit. So the 2-minute rule is just around, you know, if you want to start, let's say journaling, it's an easy one. The thought of journaling quite often becomes overwhelming, and you're like, I don't have 15 minutes to write stuff down. So it's just around just starting something. Just say you only give 2 minutes to it, and if you get 2 minutes to it, it's better than doing nothing. And then the more times you do that, the more likely it is to become a habit, and then the more likely you are to do it for whatever time you need to do it for.
Yeah.
So I reckon it's a good one. Is in terms of making it easy. and it was an analogy around going to the gym. The person would go in for, it's a 2-minute rule, but won't go in for 5 minutes. Just quickly pump something out and then go. And over time, obviously, that built to longer and longer and longer. But it just formed the habit of going to the gym after work or getting up and going to the gym.
Yeah.
Not snoozing your alarm and getting up and doing these things.
Yeah, so definitely for me, usually when doing stuff like that, it's the thought that makes it hard for me to do it. But once I've started, I'm sweet. I'm good to go.
Oh, how
and
often is it when you haven't been to the gym for a while, the thought of getting back in, just delay, and then you get back in.
And you're like, this is good.
It's awesome.
Love
it.
So it's
Feel
just
good.
weird how the thought, and the same just getting in an ice bath I used to do all the time. I could sit there and for 20 minutes and just look at it and go, oh, hurry out. But I just took that thought away after a while. I was like, nah, I'm going to walk straight out there, just get straight in, because otherwise, and once I started doing that, got the thought out of it, it was fine.
Yeah.
But I think that's another one I relate to is, when you think about things, the procrastination, it gets harder and harder and harder and harder.
Yeah, definitely. And with that habit around putting our habits out there on the whiteboard, or I always think about butcher's paper, and I was like, I don't have any butcher's paper in my house. I got to go there and do it, and I just don't do it. So I'm thinking like just getting this big whiteboard and chucking it up there, and then having the pens there or the whiteboard markers there, so you can just do it.
That's another one I like.
So easy.
And I will give you
in
this
your face as well.
I'll give you this one. You're the one, Bo's the one that mentioned accountability partner to me earlier, because he's probably going to get at me for saying it now. But I do love that one, having an accountability partner, because to me that would makes me doing things easier, because you got someone there either with you or getting up you, and you don't want to let them down.
You be careful using that terminology, please. Jeez Louise.
Up ya.
All right, so make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and last one is make it satisfying.
You're struggling to talk.
Anyway, make it satisfying. So, what are some examples there? I've got this dude had to make sales calls every day for work, and he had 120 bobby pins or something, pin clips or whatever in one container. He had none in the other. Every time he make a phone call, he put one from there to there, and just seeing that built just gave him a bit of satisfaction. Another example is like every time you do one of your habits that you want to create is put $10 into an account, or put some money into an account to buy something that you want to buy that you wouldn't normally buy for yourself, or to put towards a holiday or something like that, and build it. And just seeing that grow, I was like, I'm getting there. Another one might be just a little thing on your habit tracker or habit board, and just creating a thing where you're ticking it off.
Yeah.
And just seeing those ticks grow. It's a good one for kids. Like, pup, he just bought, had 100 chores that his boy had to do, and as soon as he bought, he was going to buy him this little motorbike. He's 5 years old, and it's just tiny electric motorbike. And just his kid, even seeing those the numbers grow, just gave him satisfaction to keep going with those chores.
Yeah, I have one that I only just thought of this while you were speaking. Then I was like, geez, I do this actually. Like even the other night, every now and then I've got I eat this ice cream called Panna Organics, like vegan ice cream. I don't really have dairy, so vegan ice cream. And I just
want milk that tastes like normal milk, mate. Oh, jeez.
Anyway, I wanted to have some the other night. I was like, I'll have a little bit of that. And I hadn't done my exercises yet, so I was like, nah, I'll do my exercises, and then I get to have some. Then I pushed myself in. It was already like 6:37 at night, so usually I can't be stuffed exercising at that time. But I was like, got to go do it. Yeah. Went and did what I needed to do, and then I went back and had it. So I don't know. I feel like that's made it satisfying for me to actually go do what I knew I needed to do. Yeah, awesome,
man. Love it.
I don't know if that's that satisfying one, but
definitely, mate, definitely. So just while we're on the milk and no milk and dairy stuff, it's like milk. It's not milk if it doesn't come from a tit.
Why? Who made up the word milk? It's just a word someone made up.
Yeah, from a tit. Like,
how does it have to be from a tit?
Baby milk, comes from a tit. Cow's milk from a tit. Soy milk.
Coconut milk.
It's soy juice.
Coconut milk.
Coconut juice.
Almond milk.
Almond juice.
Tit juice.
What?
Well, it can be a juice. Why is it a milk?
No.
What stage it has milk? What gives
Come from a breast.
Is that why it's milk, is it?
Yeah,
is that what it says?
That's what it is. If you look it up in the dictionary.
It comes from a breast.
Comes from a tit. Almond
I need
juice.
someone to check
Almond
this.
juice,
I
mate.
need someone to check this.
Coconut juice. No, I made that up, but it's surely true. Surely true. All right, so that's around building a habit. Make it obvious. Change the environment. Make it easy to see. If you got crap food out on the benches at home or at work, make it obvious to see good stuff. Change your environment, self-awareness of your habits. Anyway, I'll probably go into too much. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying to form a good habit. All right, and how to break a bad habit. Well, a lot of us are in bad habits. All of us are. All of us have bad habits. There's no doubt about it. Every single person has a bad habit. Be kind to yourself. I'm not worried about it. But just be aware. How to break a bad habit is the inverse. Make it invisible.
Yep, it's the opposite of pretty much what we spoke about, isn't it?
Yeah.
So get rid of that. Get rid of the things in your house. If you, as we said, eating or drinking alcohol, get rid of that stuff.
Your phone.
Remove it from the room.
Yep.
Whatever it is, you just want to
make it harder to see. Make it harder to see.
The TV one, I like that one because I used to have to do that because we didn't have a TV for so long. But was when you're not watching your TV, unplug it and go put it in another room in a cupboard.
That comes down the list. So make it invisible, make it unattractive. So highlight the benefits of avoiding the bad habit. So make it unattractive, make it difficult, which is what you're talking about.
Well, you're less likely to go if you want to watch 20 minutes
friction,
of TV
build
quickly,
friction to bad habits.
Go get it from the cupboard, bring it back, plug it in, and less likely to do that because you have to work for it. It's not right there in front of you.
Definitely. So build that friction, make it harder, unplug the phone, make warm beers, then you got to cool them down.
Make warm beers. That's actually a good one. Yeah.
Keep them warm instead of put them in the fridge maybe. Maybe there's money ones that maybe you got to use cash or something like that for certain things that you visual and makes it a bit harder to buy certain things so you're not overspending.
Turn Wi-Fi off from 7 p.m. every night or something.
Whatever it suits you. But make it invisible, make it unattractive, make it difficult, and make it unsatisfying. So that could be get an accountability partner, which makes good habits satisfying. But if you're honest with the person that's your accountability partner, and you're saying, "I've done this," that doesn't make you feel too good.
Yep.
And then create a habit contract. So maybe it's every time, and it depends on what the habit is. If it's something major in your life, maybe it's like every time I do that, I'm donating $50 to, you're losing $50.
And vice versa, I reckon, if you're building a habit,
you
can add to a kitty or something that you can purchase it once you've done it 50 times or.
Definitely.
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely. So that's how to build a good habit and to break a bad one. And the biggest thing is self-awareness around those, I think.
Yep.
Cool. Awesome, mate.
That's us. Done, isn't it?
Atomic Habits. Here's the book.
Hold it up.
James Clear, he's got an email that a lot of people have told me are really good and love the email. And there's also a workbook as well.
He built that up. I think he's got over 500,000 people or something on that, or maybe closer to 1 million.
Yeah, he's got over 1 million, I think. Yeah, over 1 million, he said. Yeah, so yeah, he's pretty good. He's good at what he does. Boring book. A lot of takeaways out of it. I think it's easier this one to read if you do read rather than listen, or you can do both, which I did at 2.0 speed. Being productive, mate. So yeah.
You got a joke to finish with?
Oh, this flight attendant, not a joke story, flight attendant slapped me the other day because I asked for a quickie. And then the person next to me said, it's quiche. It says quiche. I was on there looking at the menu on the thing. I said, can I have a quickie, please? Well, slapped me. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And the dude next to me goes, it says quiche.
I could probably believe that, That's it wasn't as good as mine last week, but anyway.
Yeah, so actions away from this podcast, mate. Want to hold you accountable for one habit. What's that going to be? I've got one habit.
Well, you can choose out of the three I mentioned. So that was more organised, which you can probably check in with my wife how that's travelling.
Yep.
Flossing or the breath reset.
Let's go the organised.
All right.
Organised one.
Jeez.
I'm
not hiding from this one, am I?
And what's my one? I want to be clean or the organised, looking in advance one. Maybe I'll do something different and just the cleanliness, packing up after myself,
All right.
and doing all those things.
Right, yeah, I'll check in.
Yeah, I'm going real well. I'll check in a week, or what are we doing?
Yeah, we'll check in next week.
All right, and we're going to put a challenge out to everyone there on the podcast. Want you to write down habit that you want to start, habit you want to stop, and some habits that you actually do now that you like. Want you to grab one that you want to start and one you want to stop. So there's an action item for our listeners. Love to hear how you go with it. We've got ones we want to start. The other one, wouldn't mind stopping actually. Just start with an easy one. Stop sleeping with the phone in my room. Do you have one you want to stop or no?
Oh, I put my phone on airplane mode each night. Is that sort of the same?
Yeah.
Nah, because I grab it when I wake up. So yeah, I might take you on with that one. I'm going to get it out of the room.
All right, sweet.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. And yeah, as Bo said earlier, we really appreciate if you guys can keep liking, sharing, subscribing, and all of that, because it's just going to help us get our message out there, and all our takeaways and wisdom that we're trying to learn along the way. So
yeah, it's pretty exciting. We've got a couple of chats with some different businesses about running some workshops and different things like that. So the culture's standing, growing into bigger and better things, and yeah, looking forward to helping the individual, but also helping teams and cultures on their journey to allowing people to live a better life and create better environments. So thanks for everyone's support. Thanks to Chris. Doing a great job, mate. Enjoying doing this with you.
thanks, mate. Let's do it together. Cheers.
So.